to go, round one?
Yeah, we are. I think, given this time of year, everyone's pretty keen to get the real stuff started. I think, we had a pretty good couple of knockouts in the JLT. They probably weren't the best games to watch, but in saying that, we got the result and we got to trial a few things towards the end of the Carlton game, especially for probably trying to save the game towards the end there. But we got some game time into some boys that needed it too, and everyone's chewing at the bit to get started.
How are you tracking with your pod?
Yeah, I'm good now. I've put a good couple of weeks together, which is nice. Clearly, I have had a bit of an interrupted pre-season, especially towards the end, but got a good block in, feeling confident, so I'm ready to go for Friday.
Got rid of some rust in JLT round two.
Oh, you saw that, did you? Yeah, look, I think my phone hasn't got any. The only time I was busy it was going into the grand final, so everyone let me know that my kicking wasn't on. But yeah, look, hopefully I've had a few more kicks this week and I can be sharper on Friday.
Is it the longest corky of all time?
Yeah, given missing 6 weeks last year and then getting clipped again at training a few weeks ago. So we ended up fixing the problem. Had a couple of procedures this time. We found a problem that we didn't have last year. So managed to fix that up. So any future problems, hopefully I'm done and dusted with the cork. Shake the tag of the worst cork. So.
Darcy Moore coming back almost as a bit of a new recruit. Only 7 games last year. Before that, he was a forward.
Yeah.
How does that dynamic change your role or help you as well?
I think it just gives us a bit more structure, given the size of him as well. He's probably going to get the jobs on number 1 forward or number 2 forward, and towards the end of the season we probably got we're a little bit short down back, and myself and Lang has played a little bit taller, but even with Ruffy and Darcy coming in, they definitely allow us to play a bit more of an intercept role. But given Darcy's athleticism and what he can do when he was up forward, he's going to back himself in to be able to intercept and win the ball back for us as well. So he's been enthusiastic, been like a big sponge, trying to learn the role and the job out there this far, and he's hanging out to get the real stuff started.
So that's a pretty big change for a side that went as well as you guys last year and made a grand final, to bring in 2 key defenders that can play on the big boys. Must be a huge positive.
It is, and Ruffy's fit in seamlessly as well and had a really good pre-season. He's come in, he provides plenty on the communication front, leads well, and he's a beast. He's a big fella. I didn't realise how big he was until he came here. So he offers a lot defensively. He also likes to get the ball in his hands, which you pretty much need the defenders to be able to want the ball in their hands as well. So having those 2 guys, as well as Dunny coming back from his knee, Matty Scharenberg, kind of gives us great depth through that structure, which is good.
The grand finalist always cops the motivation sort of angle for the rest of the year, and have you sort of, I don't know, how do you cope with the emotions of that, or have you just moved on?
You definitely, it took a while to deal with. There's no doubt that you constantly get a fair few reminders given we're so close, and I think probably the worst thing that gets you is it's just so hard to get there again. You need a bit of luck, but also so far away that you don't want to project too far, but you'd love to try and take your chances again if you ever had the opportunity. But I think we said it last year that we focused on a lot of things that we did well, and we feel like we ended up losing by 5 points with 90 seconds to go in the long season, and we did a lot of things well but just couldn't quite get the jobs done. We're hanging on for quite some time in that grand final, so to lose by 5 was we probably would have taken that in the end. But yeah, look, it's not ideal. We don't dwell on it. We're not reinventing the wheel this pre-season, but we do know we have to get better given that everyone else will as well.
Friday night, who would take Ablett if he's expected to play as a permanent forward like they've flagged a few times? Yeah,
look, if he's going to play forward, we'll probably prepare that he will. Potentially you've got a Maynard that's can play on him, given he's, Gaz is strong, he's got a pretty thick set, but Bruzzy's just as thick. So, and he kind of does that lockdown role, and we back him in that kind of position. But in saying that, we've got a few guys that play flexible roles down there, so might be a flip because Danger's every chance to start in the square at some stage as well. So it's going to be on. We don't fully know what the teams of both sides are going to look like, but we'll back to probably him to start forward, and we'll have a couple of matchups, no doubt.
I know that new rules will change a bit for different teams, but particularly for a side that has strong individuals that can play midfield and forward, like the Cats, and you just mentioned Dangerfield and Ablett. Have you had to work more than you usually would have to on matchups, and knowing that you can't have one sagging off to play as 7th?
Yeah, so we did a majority of the pre-season, especially stoppage work, was done through centre bounce to get as many looks as you can. And given that you've got one that starts out of the square, they generally like to isolate. And so we've got a couple of looks that we want to. There's every chance that you potentially can't get that extra, especially straight from the centre bounce. But there's strategies that you can get around that. We don't want to leave too many 1v1s, and you want to support your teammates as much as you can, but it does make it more open. But we've got a couple of strategies. I don't think we gave too much away in the JLT, but we've got a couple of things up our sleeves that no doubt we can try and use.
Do you reckon clubs are keeping their powder dry on that sort of stuff in the JLT?
Oh, I can't imagine everyone was going to unroll their playbooks, especially at centre bounce. There was a few ones that got thrown around a little bit, but in saying that, it is only the centre bounce. After when the ball's in transition, you can kind of readjust, but it's definitely for the teams that want to get on the fly. Like you picture like a Nick Nat with momentum, giving it to Shuey, running out the front. That could be a regular occurrence, given that no one can really run off the front. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll just make sure the mids put on plenty of pressure for us backs.
And your last couple of games against Geelong, they haven't been high-scoring affairs. So do you expect another sort of a lockdown?
It's hard to project what it's going to look like, but we're expecting it to come out and be a pretty contested battle. Been a good side for a very long time, and we've got a pretty good, strong side for the first 3 rounds especially, so we're going to kind of get a quick adjustment as to see where we're at. And Geelong on Friday is perfect for us. They're a well-oiled team, and I think we are as well, so it's going to be a good contest.